What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Dana White just announced some fights. That's how I'm gonna put it. They're weird fights, but he did announce some fights, and it's all for the Abu Dhabi card, which takes place in early August. So yeah, I'm not gonna play the video, but he announced the following: Vicente Luque versus Nick Diaz for 5 rounds at 170. Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa at 170. Azamat Mezakhanov versus Alonzo Menafield is also announced. That wasn't in the video, but that's also official for the card. Figueiredo versus Chito Vera is also official for that card. Lupe Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern is also official for that card. You know the appeal to that fight. And I might be missing one, but whatever. We're going to get into it, and we're going to start off with Diaz versus Luque, because that is a fucking odd fight. So, Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque is ranked right now. If Nick Diaz somehow wins this, he's not going to, but if he does, he's a ranked welterweight. The fuck are they doing? I guess that's the only way to get him back is to give him someone with a ranking next to his name. I would have preferred to see Diaz versus Ferguson, because that's winnable for both of them. But I don't... why was I going to say I don't mind this fight? This is not good. I think they've got this misconception that because Luque looked shit against Buckley, that losing to Buckley equates to being a competitive fight with Nick Diaz. If we see the same Nick Diaz that showed up against Robbie Lawler, he is going to get smoked. Luque probably will KO him. But if we see, prime Nick Diaz come back somehow, I guess, if he just turns back the clock 15 years, then we could see a good scrap. That's what Dana said. He's like, this is guaranteed to be a war. I mean, both of them have no chin. So, at this point, both of them have fuck all chin. So, first person to land a fucking clean right hand and the war's over. Sorry, boys. But why in Abu Dhabi? That's the weirdest thing about this card. I mean, it's a fight night. So it's not on pay-per-view. That's fine. I don't hate the fact that they're not making us pay for this fight, because it's not like I wouldn't want to pay for it. But why is it not in America? This card is so weird. We've got an American versus a Brazilian in Abu Dhabi, and then Tony versus Chiesa, we got 2 Americans. And then Dern versus fucking Godinez, we got an American and a Brazilian, or a Mexican and a Brazilian, or some shit like that. What are we doing? And then we got Figgy versus Chito, which is 2 Brazilians. So, a Brazilian versus an Ecuadorian or whatever. So, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with this card. But I'm obviously going to pick Luque. I think he'll win by TKO, because I'm just going to... And it's 5 rounds too. I don't know why. Diaz brothers don't need to be in 5-round fights. At this point in their career, it doesn't add anything. But yeah, I'm going to be picking Luque. Don't know why this fight got made. The opening odds have him minus 300 favorite. But yeah, I'm picking Luque probably by TKO. I reckon Diaz will just quit anytime he gets fucking hit with a punch. So yeah, it's weird. And apparently they were trying to book either Kevin Holland, Colby Covington, or MVP. That's what Diaz wanted instead of Luque, but they eventually gave him Luque. So weird enough as that is, that's what we got here. But let's move on to the next fight. Next up, we got Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. Now, I actually don't hate this, because last time out, Michael Chiesa got hit with a singular punch against Kevin Holland and just curled up into a ball. So I wouldn't mind Tony's chances to win this fight. What's it called? The opening odds have Chiesa as a big favorite. I don't trust Chiesa to win at all, but I might just pick Tony for the vibes. Chiesa could just grapple, that is a thing. He's going to be stronger than Tony, but Chiesa's fucking old at this point. So, we'll see what happens. I might lean towards Tony, because if he can land with any power, we know Chiesa does not take shots well. And Paddy at least can, do damage and is athletic. But Chiesa is not athletic. He's got a good grappling base, but he's not that strong, and he's not that athletic at this point in his career. And he doesn't have any power. Chiesa does not hurt people in fights. With his pad, he was able to rock Tony. So I think the danger of Tony being badly hurt in this isn't going to be as much. We might just see him get held down for 3 rounds if he does lose. But I'm going to lean towards Tony. I reckon he could crack him with someone, land a big right. Because he does still show to have the power a little bit. So I might pick Tony, land a big right hand, Chiesa kind of shits himself, curls up into a ball, and then gets finished. But it's a decent fight. I still would have preferred, why'd they not just do Ferguson versus Diaz 1 month later in the Sphere? You got two former Mexicans. Why are we not doing that? But whatever. Let's move on to the next fight. Davison Figueiredo versus Chito Vera. This is a banger. This is one of the fights, because all the other fights on the card are just fucking weird, but this one's really good. I love this fight. I'm going to be picking Davison Figueiredo because I don't think Chito Vera is that good, and I never have. I picked Pedro Munoz against him, and even though he lost, I'm going to stand by the fact that was not that bad of a pick to make. Like, this guy, if he does not KO you or drop you badly in fights, it's, like, really hard for him to win. Like, he either KOs you in, like, the later rounds, or he drops you at the end of a round and wins on damage, like against Font. But Figueiredo's got way better defense. I think Figgy's going to be way quicker than Chito as well, and he can grapple. So I think he'll take Chito Vera down, beat him up on the ground, but we saw Sandhagen beat up Chito Vera on the ground in their fight too. So I think Figueiredo can maybe land some stinging shots on the feet. He'll be way quicker. We saw he was quicker than Font, and Font's one of the quicker guys at 135. So yeah, Figueiredo should be fine here. I reckon he should win this fight. I don't know what the odds are going to be. If Chito Vera ends up as a favourite, I'm definitely going to be putting money down on Figueiredo. But yeah, I think he can take him down. We've seen Chito's takedown defense ain't that good. He's got a good guard, like he's got some elbows off his back, but I wouldn't mind Figgy to sub him, honestly. Or just a dominant, like, 30-27 decision. Better on the feet, better on the ground, gets the win. But yeah, that's my prediction for this fight. Let's move on, though, to the next matchup. Azamat Murzakanov versus Alonzo Menifield. This one wasn't in the video, but it was officially announced. I'm going to be picking Menifield. No, I'm going to be picking Murzakanov because I don't trust Menifield. Where's Murzakanov been there? This guy's been out for too long. Been out for like over a year by the time this fight happens. But Menifield just got KO'd in May. It's going to be what? June, July, August. So he's going to have a 3-month turnaround from getting KO'd in 10 seconds. And I think Murzakanov is pretty good and he's underrated and not many people know who he is. And Menifield might approach this like he's fighting a grappler and then he could just get KO'd by Murzakanov. I like this fight, and at least this one they have Murzakanov who's like Russian or whatever. All the other fucking fights have just got two people that are nowhere close geographically to Abu Dhabi and they're making them fight in Abu Dhabi. Whatever. Yeah, it's a cool fight. I like it. It'll be a bit good scrap. Someone will probably get KO'd. Azamat Murzakanov, the density maxer versus Alonzo Menifield, the tarred maxer himself. So it should be a good scrap. I'll pick Murzakanov. Let's move on though to another fight. Luque Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern. This fills up the Bunda quota on the card. That we've got the sufficient Bunda that we need to be on this card. It's in Abu Dhabi, so I don't know how this one will go down with the people over there because they've got no women fighting in Saudi Arabia. But no, it's a good fight. I might pick Godinez. I don't really care about it that much, but it's actually a pretty solid fight. Dern has good grappling. Obviously, Godinez, I would say, is the better striker. She arguably beat Verna Jandiroba. But yeah, Dern might just try and do some retarded shit off her back. She could win, she could lose. I don't know. This is a 50-50 fight in my opinion. It's just about whether you think Dern is actually going to implement her skills in a fight. Which, although you might say, why would she not do that? Because she fucking does it like once every 3 years. Like, she did against Angela Hill and won 50-40 fucking 2. Like, but then she doesn't against any other fighter. Like, it's retarded. But if she chooses to offensively grapple and actually try and work her jiu-jitsu instead of just, like, getting taken down and then trying to stand on the feet or some shit, then yeah, she should win. But I'll pick Godinez early, and I'll watch some tape later on. I'm lying. I'm not going to watch tape on this fight. Let's move on though let's just talk about the main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Now we've known about this for ages, of course. Don't worry about this graphic. Don't comment why they got him number 3. It's a graphic error. Dana White literally said the number 10 ranked Umar in the video. Another thing Dana said is that he's the best bantamweight prospect right now. And another thing that he said is that this fight is for the number 1 contender at bantamweight. So guaranteed, if Umar wins and then Figueiredo wins, and we've got Figueiredo who's coming off wins over Font, Garbrandt, and now Chito Vera. No, Umar's going to get a win just because he beat Sandhagen and hasn't beat any other ranked opponents. But whatever, that's fine. It's good that at least Corey has the guarantee of a number 1 contender fight. So it's interesting. I wonder when we will actually see, because I assume they're going to do Merab versus O'Malley in the Sphere in September. And this is a month before that. So I guess this is good because it's got 2 key top 10 bantamweight fights that are going to set up kind of the title picture of who's going to do what. Maybe we see the loser of O'Malley Merab can fight the winner of Chito versus Figueiredo. Like, if Merab loses, he can fight, and Figueiredo wins. You can do Merab versus Figgy. I wouldn't love that fight, but you know what I mean. Or Cheeto versus Merab, whatever. If O'Malley loses, obviously him versus Figgy would be sick, but you ain't gonna do him versus Cheeto again. But yeah, you get what I mean. It's a good setup that they've got 2 key fights just before, and then they've got the title fight, I assume, in September. But yeah, it's a good scrap. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm probably gonna pick Umar just because he's got plot armor. I know when this fight was announced, I'm like, bro, Corey's way too good for me. I think he's gonna win, and I do think Corey still has a really good shot to win. And also, Umar is like a minus 400 favorite on the odds right now, which is retarded. So definitely, I wouldn't mind putting money on Corey there, because if it gets out of the second round, I do think Corey, unless Umar's just like still able to work at the same pace, indicating that he would be on EPO, then I'm gonna pick Corey Sandhagen to win in the later rounds. But maybe Umar just like he could, because Corey does give up his back, which worries me. But I love Corey Sandhagen; he's a great fighter. So I hope he wins, and I think it is a 50-50 fight. And logically, based off what we've seen, you should be picking, and I would be picking Corey Sandhagen. But sometimes logic don't matter. This is like the Hamzat versus Burns situation, I guess. And you've just got to kind of go like, yeah, the prospect that they want to win is probably going to fucking win because he's got plot armor. But whatever. This is the card. It's really weird. It's a solid card though. Like there's like how many interesting fights? Main event, co-mains, whatever. Ferguson, Chiesa, Menefield, Cheeto. There's 6 really good fights on this card, so I'll take that. And then they're probably going to just put a bunch of the other Cliff Dwellers on the prelims. But yeah, real good card. And yeah, what do you guys think of the matchups? Leave your predictions in the comments. Just a quick video today. I had to rush because I've got to get to school. But let's move on to the end of the video. Bye. See ya.